Yo, what is everybody? This is Most. We're here with our week 2 matchup in the EBL versus we're facing motherfucking Dave. In case no one's known who's gonna watch this video, me and Dave have played each other since what the fuck was that league called? Holy shit, BCA or something like that. Like, it was fucking 3-4 years ago now, I think. We've played each other a shit ton since then. So it's one of those things that, like, we kind of know how each other plays. I'm at the point where I kind of know his sets. Quick rundown of his team: Make Aggron, Megastone, Thunder Eye, E-Belt or Wise Glasses sometimes. Klefki, Leftovers. Crocodile, Intimidate, Leftovers. Vaporeon, Leftovers. Cofagrigus, Leftovers. Just Kang. I don't know. I've never actually seen that one. Latios, Z, or E-Belt. Infernape, E-Belt. Gramble, Leftovers. Vileplume, Black Sludge. So mods I think he's going to bring Thundee, Infernape, and Latios are all coming. I can kind of see either Granbull or Cofagrigus coming to be physical wall. Especially for things like what's his name, Halucha. I can really, with Intimidate on Granbull, it helps out a lot, and Cofagrigus getting rid of its ability, which is really nice. Past that, I can see Krook and Vileplume coming as well. He generally goes 3 bulky, 3 offensive with this team. Like, if he didn't have Latios, then it would have been 4 bulk, 2 offensive ones. I can also see Vaporeon coming as well, mainly because, like, Victini can't do shit to it. Plus, Volcarona struggles against it as well. Plus, there's something else I'm forgetting. Plus, it can somewhat wall special Latios. I think it's gonna be specially defensive. Fruit comes gonna be physically defensive. I know that. So let's go into the team here. I could see him bringing pretty much any Mon. To be honest with you, I don't see a Mon. I can't. Okay. Relax. There isn't a Mon on his team that I don't see him at least potentially bringing, depending upon what team he brings. So into it, our first Mon here, we got Jolteon, we got Mini Cow. No, it just fucking sounds cool. Choice specs: Volt Absorb, obviously. We're T-Bolt, Volt Switch, Signal Beam, HP Fire. So Thundee, the reason I didn't want to bring this, one, it puts in absolute fucking work. Plus, Thundee really doesn't deal with it very well. Like, give me a second. So he's a nasty plot set. The only way he can really do anything to me, yeah, he can't two-shot me at all, unless he hits 2 focus blasts, which I would be kind of surprised because I consistently miss focus blasts against him every time I need it to hit. But that Volt Absorb was really nice. It could potentially play my games. Plus, Klefki can't slow this thing down, and it outspeeds everything on his team, barring Scarfs, which I don't think he's gonna bring, or Dragon Dance Latios, which I also don't. If Dragon Dance Latios comes, I can handle that thing very easily, actually. But yeah, T-Bolt, Volt Switch, obviously there, just hit everything super hard. Signal Beam, Crocodile. If Crocodile wasn't there, I would run Shadow Ball here to hit Lottie harder. But since I need a way to hit Crocodile hard, and if it is, it's going to be his main switch into this every time. So I can just fire off a Signal Beam right away and Crocodile. If it's offensive, it is taking 96% minimum. So it really can't. It can only switch in once, and at that point, every time this thing comes in, it gets a free volt switch off. It gives me momentum. And late game, this thing can just straight up win. Mega Aggron doesn't take it well, especially. Let's see. If he's specially defensive, it does 50% minimum. 51% actually minimum. Because I'm able to run Modest to outspeed everything. Thunder Eyes is fastest thing. But yeah, nothing wants to take more than 2 hits from this thing. It might get a little annoying with the predicting between, like, Vile Plume's a good switch in, but I do have HP Fire, which I think 2 shots. Yeah, pretty much 2 shots, especially if he has a little bit of chip. But like, the reason I'm running HP Fire over, say, something like HP Ice for the Krook and then running Shadow Ball for Lottie is it hits. Lottie already takes so much damage from Signal Beam. It 2 shots very easily. Only needs a little bit of chip from it and it dies. And being able to hit Vile Plume and Klefki harder is more important. Yes, HP Ice hits the Vile Plume, but does absolutely nothing to Klefki. But then again, I think Klefki. Yeah, Thunderbolt's still 2-shotting it. It's max def. So if that thing could come in, like, he really doesn't have. Once Crocodile's not there, if Crocodile doesn't come, or as soon as it's killed, this thing just runs train between momentum and just firing off late game T-bolts. Next one we have here, Volcarona, Grassy MZ. We got Flame Body, Quiver Dance, Flamethrower, Giga Drain, and Bug Buzz. So I'm running max HP and then max special attack, Modest. Reason is, once I get up a +1 speed, I outspeed everything else team. Being able just running 236 speed, which is fantastic. Plus I can set up on a decent amount. Like, Vile Plume can't really do much to me. Gramble can't do much to me. As long as there's no rock coverage, Infernape, Kang really can't do much to me. The only things that really can, Vaporeon, Scald does like 50% around there. Krook with his Earthquakes can do a lot, but I can also kill it right back. Klefki can also T-Wave me, which can be super annoying. And yeah, like, Latios can mess me up a little bit too, if it's physical. But just being able to run absolutely no speed on it and still being able to outspeed everything at +1 is fantastic. Because if I get up a +1, +2 especially, it's game over. Obviously, I think the Vaporeon's going to come, which is why I have Grassy MZ. If not, I would just ran like Inferno Overdrive or Savage Spin Out. But I needed that extra damage. I think at +1, I think it barely Oku's. Vaporeon, specially defensive. Not even. If it's a max specially defense. Oh no, at +1. Yeah, at +1, it's doing. It has a less. Yeah. That's a weird way of phrasing it, but okay. It does 91 to 107. That's if it's specially defensive. Like, I need to get that +1, and I need that damage. Otherwise, it can. Especially if rocks are up and I can't get them off, it kills me. And then it makes me kind of easily revenge kill, I guess you can say, if I am T-waved. So, running that Bloom Doom helps out a lot. If it's not, if it's physically defensive, I easily kill it with Bloom Doom. Like I said, I think he is going to be specially defensive if he comes. Past that, it hits pretty much everything hard. The only thing that I can't hit for like super effective damage is Gramble with 0 special defense sucks ass. Infernape, but its defense is kind of suck ass. Kang, which it's Kangaskhan. Coffergragus, but it can be a little annoying, bulky, but I can just absolutely set up in that thing's face all day with this thing. Everything else I hit super hard. Thundy, but like I said, that thing can take a flamethrower. Like most of his mons like don't have coverage twisting, just still die to it because it's flamethrower so hard. I was gonna change this to fiery dance, but I completely forgot right before the battle, so that kind of sucked. Next one we have here, we have Victini. The type of Victini leftovers, obviously default, Nature's Madness, serve, knockoff. I'm going max defense. This is my switch in to Infernape pretty much all the time. He does have coverage moves to hit me, Thunder Punch and Gunk Shot, but I can still take 2 of them and still do like 60% to them if I'm my Surf. Nature's Madness obviously is there for the Mega Aggron and the Vileplume. Mainly Aggron because that thing is going to be super annoying for me to deal with, especially if it is physically defensive. Because I only have, the first Jolteon and Vaporeon, Jolteon and Volcarona together kind of easily, but for my other 2 physical sweepers, like it's kind of annoying to deal with. Even Klefki too. Like I don't have great ways to do a lot of damage to Aggron, Klefki, Vileplume. Ice Beam, yeah, but I need the other moves. I could have put it as knockoff, but I wanted to have that potential to, like I said, knock off any Scarfs potentially, to allow Jolteon to be able to be the fastest thing. Plus just being able to not let him continuously heal up with Vaporeon. Because if he brings that thing, it's going to be a switch in. He can Wish Stall me out as much as he wants. I can just he can't do shit to me. And as soon as I knock off, it's just going to be a game of stalling out. And then I can get, switch into Jolteon on a prediction of a Protect or a Wish or something like that. And from there, just continue to make life hell with Volt switching out. But yeah, this thing is just going to be an overall physical wall for, like I said, mainly Infernape. It's my only real concern for a physical sweeper. Not sweeper, but physical mon itself. If Krookodile comes, this is an easy switch in as well. Surf will pretty much O-code, I think. Let's see. Yeah, it does. 75% minimum, so. And he can't do shit to me in return. So next one we have here, we have Tangrowth, we got Bubba with a Soft Vest Regenerator, obviously, Giga Drain, Earthquake, Knockoff, and Hidden Power Ice. Running a little bit of mixed defenses on it. 200 plus Nature and Special Defense, 60 in defense. The only reason I did that was because I wanted to make it a little, like, I only have 2 walls this game. And I wanted to be able to, like, if Victini got down or killed somehow, this thing could also take a hit from in front of it. We can take 1 Flare Blitz, I believe, if I'm correct. Let's see. Yep, that works. Expert Belt. Yeah, I can still take it with the 60 investment. It does 92% max. So even after Stealth Rocks, would I take it? Yeah. Most of the time, 37% chance to Okami, but then at that point, it's taking a decent chunk of recoil damage. Couldn't think of that word there. But this is gonna be my main switch into Thundy. He can still HP Ice me and stuff like that. And it has potential to like 3-shot me, but I can then fire off a knockoff to get rid of its item, or even HP Ice and still doing a lot of damage to it. My main goal this game is to set up for Jolteon or Scizor or Hawlucha to win late game, since they all outspeed / out-prioritize their entire team. So if I can get everything chipped down to about 50%, it's pretty much game over at that point. And like I said, next mon we have Choice Band and Scizor. Bullet Punch, U-Turn, Superpower, Bug Bite. Retrospect, probably should have put Knockoff there, but YOLO. But as I was saying, yeah, this thing could come in late game and just put in work. Plus, if I get a switch into like the Krookodile, he's gonna have to switch out because he can't take a bug move really from it. And everything. What was I gonna say? Plus, worst case scenario, I can just always fire off Super Punch. Wow, superpower and absolutely annihilate whatever one's given. Yeah, even intimidated. On a U-turn, I have like a 50% chance to Oko a crocodile, which is kind of ridiculous. But the superpower is there mainly for the aggron. After a volt switch, if it's specially defensive. Actually, let me see. Yeah, pretty much. If it's specially defensive to make aggron, a volt switch into this thing has a decent chance to take it out with a superpower banded. If it's physically defensive, it's a little different, I think. Let me do the actual math. It's physically defensive. I'm doing 40. Yeah, I have a slight chance to kill it on a superpower after a volt switch. After T-Bolt every time it kills. Like ridiculously every time. So like I said, this thing, like even, okay, as I was saying about Latios, if he does bring Dragon Dance, this thing does 60% minimum, I believe, on a bullet punch. Nope, that's not what I wanted. It's Zora. 64%. So any sort of chip damage, it dies. Plus, if I could potentially, weaken that to bring in my Victini into Hawlucha, I think it's just going to wreck through. He doesn't have many good switch-ins to Hawlucha. Cofagrigus and Gramble, I think, really the only two. Excuse me, at least to this set. Next mod we have here. Hawlucha, Misty Seed, obviously, Unburden. Acrobatics, Hone Claws, High Jump Kick, Stone Edge. Stone Edge is there for the Thundy, and that's absolutely it. Yeah. Everything else is going to get super kicked through acrobatics. Hone Claws this week over Sword Stance. Yes, I know he has 2 Intimidators, but I think if his Intimidator is going to be Krook, even at neutral, I think I'd kill it pretty easily. High Jump Kick. Intimidate, get rid of that. Yeah, High Jump Kick at neutral does 130% minimum. So that +1, wow, I can't think of it. Accuracy is really key here. Because if I can hit every high jump kick, he's not beating that thing 1v1. And if he brings in like a Vaporeon on it to try to get a protect off on it, I can just set up in his face. So like I said, my main 3 ways of winning, I think, are going to be... There it goes. One of my 4 sweepers. I have 4 sweepers this week. Pretty much. Because late game, if things are chipped, all I have to do is get either Jolteon, Volk, Scizor, or Hawlucha and Misty Terrain, and it's going to just pretty much win. So let's get right into the game here. Does it look okay? It does look okay. As you can see, no Crocodile. Fantastic. He has Thundy, Latios, am I recording? Yes. Infernape, Mega Aggron, Cofagrigus, and Kangaskhan. So let's look at his team. In order for Hawlucha to sweep, I need Cofagrigus gone. That's just a fact. In order for Jolteon to switch, I need things chipped down a little bit, and nothing to be scarfed, which I don't think there is. Volcarona can sweep after I get up 1 or 2 Quiver Dances, and I can set up all day on Cofagrigus. It can't do shit to me. And even if you would want to set up a Trick Room and hit me, I'm still setting up special defenses, so his attacks are going to do absolutely nothing to me. Then as soon as he's out of Trick Room, it just plows through his team. Scizor could potentially sweep too, depending on what's still alive and what kind of momentum I can get. But right off the bat, I have absolutely no reason to lead off with Jolteon. I'll speed everything, barring Scarfs, which I don't think there were. And I get a free Volt Switch, and I can go from there. Where is my mouse? Here it is. So, nope, that's awkward. I don't like that. So, like I said, I'm going to lead off with Jolteon, he's going to lead off with Mega Aggron. That's completely fine. As you see, he Mega Evolves. Like I said, I'm just going to Volt Switch out. And it does 42%, which I know at that point that it is specially defensive. So it's mixed defenses with that thing stupidly high defense stat and filter. So, looking at what to go in here. He has really only 2 plays. He's either going to set up Stealth Rocks, to prevent Volcarona from getting a, sweep very easily. Or he's going to EQ, predicting me to stay in for some reason. Does that even take me out? Because I do have a little bit of bulk investment. Earthwave does take me out, yes, every time. So, looking at that, it's most likely going to be getting up Stealth Rocks. So, my first thought was going to Victini and immediately defog them away. But I wanted to play aggressive here. After thinking about it, if I go into Victini, he's only going to do... math. 26? 29. Yeah. He's going to do 29% on a, what's it called? Nature's Madness. And I can't take it out with the Surf the next turn. So this thing is going to be able to get up rocks. It's going to be able to sit here. He's going to get a free switch into Thundy. And I want to keep momentum in my favor offensively. So I'm going to make the somewhat bold play, I think, and go straight into Volcarona, predicting him to set up Stealth Rocks, which he does. By the way, if you can see on the chat there, then this was not a cockiness from me calling turn 2 6-0. That's just from Destin turn 2 6-0ing me with this thing, and him and Colton don't let me forget about it. So I named this thing in honor of you, Destin. You should be proud. So at this point, I'm not going to get ballsy here. I'm just going to take this thing out because I'm assuming this thing has rock coverage. Nope. It should. I think it's Stone Edge. Yeah, Stone Edge absolutely obliterates me. So I don't have to. I'm not going to overpredict here. I kept the momentum in my favor, so I'm just going to take this thing out, which is really going to help. He stays in here. I just flamethrower away. Excuse me. Take that thing out. It was not a roll. It does 60% minimum. So yeah, that was a KO every time. With that thing gone now, I can freely defog on everything except for Thundy. And rocks are gone. And they will not come back up. So he's going to come into Kangaskhan. I don't know what this thing is going to want to do. I don't know if it's offensive. I don't know if it's defensive. I'm assuming it has rock coverage. I'm not going to stay in here. I have no reason not to. I'm just going to make a play. I'm trying to figure out what I want to go into. I want to keep Victini as healthy as I possibly can with Infernape still there. Plus, I need Mystery Terrain up for a Hawlucha sweep. Plus, I don't want Tank Growth getting toxic or even taking unnecessary chip damage because I need that thing to wall Thundy. So I'm going to go right out into Scissor here. It's my best play. Plus, I want to see what he goes for. I know I can take pretty much every hit from this thing. And he goes straight up for a return, and that thing does nothing. Okay, that is no attack investment at all. This thing is defensive. I just have to figure out if it's physically or specially defensive. But I have no reason to stay in here. If he has Fire Punch, he still doesn't kill me. I think it does like 50% at his investment. I think it does. I don't feel like looking it up. I think it does like 50% maximum. So I'm just going to fire off a slow U-turn out here if he wants to stay. And if not, I'm going to get momentum at all points. So he's going to go out into Infernape. I'm Volt Switching out. That is enough damage for... As you can see what I bring, which I said I was going to. It's enough damage. It's offensive, obviously. So I'm going to go right on to Victini. I wall this thing every day, and I can immediately get away my rocks. Turn 5 after being set up turn 1, which is fantastic. He Thunder Punches. Does 38. It's really nothing. So I get a free defog off, which is fantastic. Volcarona can come in for free every single time now. My mons aren't going to get chipped down. Now looking at this, I have 1 or 2 plays. Obviously, I can Surf, take this thing out, or do I think he's going to switch out into something like Kang or a Thunderous to get momentum on his side now? After thinking about it, doing 50% to Thundy won't really do much. Plus, I have a pretty clean switch in, so I'm just going to try to take this thing out immediately, because this thing can be annoying for my team if he wants to stay in, which he does. He Thunder Punches again, brings me down to 21%. A Surf very easily takes this thing out. So we're up 6-4 very early in this game, which is fantastic. At this point, this is, like I said, a free switch into Thundy, which he brings in, and very easy play, going to Tank Growth. I have no reason not to. And he fires off a Sludge Wave. Really smart. Looking at that damage, not E-Belt. The Inferno was E-Belt. This thing is not E-Belt. So I'm like, shit. What is this thing? I was like, okay, it was weird because like I forgot to take off E-Belt when I was calcing this. So I was like, is he fucking no special attack investment on this? I was like, oh, guys, physical, I guess, to predict a defog maybe? I don't know. But I know I can take one more. And I'm just going to knock off this thing because I also thought this could have been Scarfed. If this thing's Scarfed, it can really mess up my late game sweeping ability with... I forgot to say this on these. I am max HP on this because I plus 2. I outspeed a +1 Halucha, which is what I was trying to say earlier with the Liar. So if it does get up to +1, I'm completely fine because at that point I'm going to either do 50% to it after I switch in Victini on the Latios, do 50% from Nature's Madness, it can't take me out, and then Bullet Punch it, or allow Halucha to come in, do 60% to it, and then Bullet Punch kill it. That was my game plan. But yeah, with the +2 speed and not having to set up subs to get that speed boost, this is why Halucha in this meta is awesome, and I love it so much. But yeah, let's get back to it now. Sorry, I forgot to say that. Now I forget where it was. But yeah, I'm just going to fire off a knockoff here. If he wants to switch out, that's great. If he stays in, I'm knocking off its item, which is going to help out late game. He fires off another one. I live every time. And knockoff does a decent amount. And he's Wise Glasses. And I was like, okay, that makes sense. So at this point, looking at it, even if I switch out into Scizor, I can't one-shot it. And if he is HP Fire on it, that's bad. Plus, this thing really doesn't do much the rest of the game. It did what I needed to do, take a couple hits, figure out the set, knock off. Just be kind of a hindrance to this thing, but at 65%, it's really not going to help at all. Since Lottie does like 50% to it every time. It's like against Side Shock. So this gives me a free switch into Jolteon after that thing goes down. And once again, I can just fire off a Volt Switch. I thought about possibly going for Signal Beam there, predicting the Latios, but I didn't want to overpredict here. Like I said, this just gives me momentum to go straight into Scizor here. Now at this point, I take it out, I believe, with a Bullet Punch. If I remember correctly, Scizor... Latios, offensive. Oh, that's right. I have an okay chance of taking it out with Bullet Punch, if he stays in. But if he doesn't have HP Fire, I'm living it every single time. So this will allow me to see it set a little bit. I'm just gonna go for Bullet Punch here. I'm not gonna predict and go for return at this point. He brings in his Coffergagus, which is smart. 31% on the Bandit means he is physically defensive. Awesome. Volcarona sets up in this thing every single day now. So I'm just going to play aggressive. I have no reason not to. Just go straight into Volcarona here. If he goes for like a Will-O-Wisp or something like that, doesn't take any damage. If he attacks, it's going to do absolutely nothing, as you see, by 22%. I'm like, hell yeah, this is a super free Quiver Dance. He brings in Kangaskhan. I was like, okay, this thing's probably specially defensive. Okay, that makes sense. But now I outspeed everything on his team. I two-shot everything on his team. And that's mainly... Let me see. I'm pretty sure I do. Yeah, Latios does not take a Bug Buzz at +1. ever. Coppergragus. Yeah, that thing's dead. I know Thundy can't take a hit. Kang, I was like, yeah, you're probably specially defensive, which is fine. I am doing. Where's Bedef? There. I'm doing 50% minimum to you. And if you don't have a rock type move, it's game over. I was like, cool, special defense, this is fine. Easy sweep at the end. It did 37. Holy fuck. He misses a rock slide, luckily. Kind of sucks, I know, but I've lost games to Dave via Focus Blast misses, so it's just redemption for me actually, getting the hacks a little bit luckily there. But 37, holy shit. This motherfucker, which is smart for things like Jolteon, and Latios, and Volcarona, and a potential Victini. This motherfucker is max HP, max special defense, positive special defense nature, assault vest. This thing is literally the specialist, bulkiest it could fucking be. And holy shit. Like, that would have been dope. Like, if I would have had Inferno Overdrive here, yeah, it would have been game over after that miss. But yeah, holy shit. I was like, this thing is stupidly especially bulky, so I am not going to play around with misses. I'm just going to attack you again. Does 33. It's not a 30%, which still, holy god. He hits this rock, so that's fine. Volcarona didn't get a sweep, but it put down this thing into an area where once Coffergragus goes down, Scizor sweeps. Provided he doesn't have HP Fire on Thundurus, which I don't think it might. It would kind of be smart if he did. This gives me a free switch in into Scizor, and once again, a Bullet Punch takes it out. I don't think he's going to sack this thing off yet, because at this point, with Jolteon, it's a rule to take it out with Thunder. Or with T-Bolt. Yeah, it's about a 50-50. So it would be smart for him to take it, or keep this thing around. I'm just going to fire off a U-turn again. Just keep momentum up. And now, he goes into Coffergragus. Like I said, free Volt Switch out, or U-turn into Jolteon. Zero reason to fire off a Thunderbolt right now. I kill everything with 2, except for Latios, which then I can just sweep with Scizor. So I'm just going to take this thing out with a Thunderbolt. He stays in, because he can't switch anything else in. So I'm looking very good here. I have 2 plays here. I could T-Bolt and then allow Scizor to win, which I just realized now. But I wasn't sure. I want to keep this thing around, just in case. This thing outspeeds everything. I'm going to go out into Victini, sacking it off. This is my way of ensuring I win, pretty much. So, I go out into Victini just to get up terrain, sack it off, to go into Hawlucha, even with special defense boost and max attack. He's running Side Shock, so that's smart. Did I take one? I don't think I did. Let's check. I'm actually curious. Adios, offensive. If you want for psychic. I actually ate one? Nope, hold on. I had 75% chance to eat one if you ran Sidekick over Side Shock. But I'm just going to fire off an Acrobatics, put it down to 7%. I knew that wasn't going to take it out. But what this just did is just put everything in range of Scizor's Bullet Punch. So I can just come in, revenge kill it, dead. And at this point, it's pretty much game unless he has HP Fire. It's the only thing that can beat me right now. Fire off to 40%, and he fires off a Hidden Power. Ground or Rock, I'm assuming. I don't know which one. I think Ground to be able to hit the Jolteon for actual damage. But past that, this thing just Bullet Punches and kills the next two Mons, Genghis Khan, Thundy. And that is a GG 2-0 win for the Philadelphia Fampi against Dave. Good game, man. Holy God, this battle or this video is fucking taking forever. 35 minutes in. Goddamn. But yeah, good game, man. Sorry for that miss. But yeah, definitely check out, if I remember, I'm going to put Dave's channel down in the description below. If I forget, I'm sorry. I tend to forget things. But we are starting off 2-0 plus 7? Yes. 2-0 plus 7. We are in tie for second. Two other teams are 2-0. One is 9, one is 7 as well. We play... Who do we play next? We play Captain Smiley next. He's 1-1, I believe, if I'm correct. Yes, he is 1-1. So that should be a good game. Thank you for watching, everybody. Once again, good game, David, and peace.